Download Whiskey Hell Podcast. We call attention to the mainstream media narratives weekly in hopes that you'll have fun with how ridiculous the news really is. We don't want to change your mind. We just want to give you perspective so that you can choose more wisely and be more aware. Couple that with great craft beer, hilarious stories, deep thoughts, and real conversations. We know you're going to enjoy it. Download Whiskey Hell Podcast anywhere you find outstanding shows.
Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? Hush.
Hello, World Blaze listeners, and welcome to the show. Today, we're going to tackle what's going on in the political realm a little bit. Very interestingly, as of recent, looks like Joe Biden has lost some confidence from his own party. The Democratic Party is finally signaling that it's time to move away and time to move on to someone else. Now, that being said, let's just start that off. I got a few clips here, and Michelle Obama actually came out and is terrified, absolutely terrified, of what might happen to the outcome of this election. Her own words here from the Jay Shetty podcast. Let me go ahead and play that real quick.
What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted.
Okay, so there you have it. She's worried about the outcome of the election. It's blatantly admitting that they have no confidence in Joe Biden. Why would you be so worried about the outcome if you were so sure about your candidate, about your party's ability to take over everything that represents America and the expectation that all of America is going to vote democratically and hence vote for Joe Biden? Because it's not going to happen. America is they woke up. It's at the point that America knows there's time for a change. Now, let's just be honest. It doesn't necessarily mean Trump is the right change we need. We're going back to that old hat, but there isn't really too many options. We're put back into the same position we were the last election we had, to where it came down to the lesser of two evils, so to speak. And I'm not saying Trump is necessarily evil, or Biden is necessarily evil, but I mean, admittedly, how can you get around that Biden has not become the worst president in U.S. history to date? What has he done? He's done nothing. In his long storied career of almost pretty much no accomplishments, somehow became president and hasn't done anything. Now he's trying to claim that job growth is risen and he's brought America back from the brink of death, basically, which is a bunch of bullshit. We have the highest inflation ever recorded. I mean, I believe ever recorded. You can, audience, go ahead and you can fact check me on that one. Send me a note in the comments or in the email to worldablaze@fontsmedia.com. That's FONTES media.com. Let me know if I'm correct on that. But I from what I recall, I think this is the worst inflationary period we've ever had. And it's not going down. And the fact that he's trying to claim that he has the highest job growth in history is fucking ridiculous. Look, the pandemic was hit us in 2020. 21, people were still figuring out. We're still shut down. A lot of his government mandated shutdowns, by the way. Okay, 22, not much better. People are still in fear. Government's still pushing vaccines and still closing down schools and still, at this point, tying the hands of those who have any kind of service industry business or works service industry job. Still very heavily regulated, but it starts to open up. 23, people started, getting back to work again. They realized they can no longer live off the tit of the government and get free money. That shit's over. Everybody had an oh fuck moment. I got to get back to work. So here we are in 2024, and now Joe Biden is trying to claim that because of him, under his presidency, because of him, we've had the highest job growth ever. Because of him. Bullshit, Joe. Listen, people had to pay bills. They realized they can no longer live off the government. The money's running out. It's either pay your rent or live on the street. That's what happened. And I think the dust has settled in terms of certain types of jobs and industries to where now it's starting to feel safe that they can actually go ahead and proceed at, full capacity, so to speak, in terms of what they can do with their businesses and offer everybody out there. They're no longer feeling restricted. So was it you, Joe, or was it just that Americans started going back to work and they said, fuck it, I need to get back out there and earn a paycheck? I think that's more of what happened, Joe. A lot of the jobs that were suppressed and told they can't work and had to be careful were basically saying, we can't do this forever. We need to get back to it. It just happened naturally. It had nothing to do with you, Biden. Nothing to do with you at all, Joe, whatsoever. So now that the Democrats are definitely admitting that they're starting to lose their grip, that there is no confidence in Mr. Joe Biden, they're going back to that same old nugget of the Republicans are evil, they're violent, they're horrible, we need to do something about them. And then, of course, Trump, whatever. Listen, there's bad news on both sides here. Trump's did some shit. Biden and your family, to be honest, you did way worse shit. I mean, really on treasonous levels, like actual real treasonous levels, such as, feeding information to foreign governments, taking bribes from foreign governments, coercing coercing judges, or not judges, I forgot what it was, other governments and legislation, so you can get your way. Seriously, Joe, your son over here collecting how many millions of dollars, collecting checks for being a supposed, energy consultant or a consultant for an energy business that he knows nothing about. And mysteriously there's these, deposits of money consistently into your account at an exact amount of 10% of what Hunter received. I don't know if this is coincident or not. It can't get any more coincidental. But let's move past that, because it's obvious nothing's ever going to come of it. They're just going to let the Bidens slide out down the hill into the sunset and enjoy their fucking Mai Tais on the beach. Like, it's just not going to happen. But Joe Biden does have the balls. He has the balls to basically say this.
So hear me clearly. I'll say what Donald Trump won't. Political violence is never, ever acceptable in the United States political system. Never, never, never. It has no place in a democracy. None. You can't be pro-insurrectionist and pro-American.
Okay there, Joe. Sure. Whatever you say. I'm going to get back to that. First, I want to apologize for the audio quality because, to be honest, I got that straight from Joe Biden's Twitter account. And just like everything else he's done that's shitty, his audio quality is also shitty. So don't blame me for that, please. Doing the best I can here. I'm working with what I got, which is, well, honestly, a crappy president. And I hate to say that and really talk bad about our president, but man, I'm sorry, he's bad. And it doesn't matter if he's Democrat or Republican or, frickin' purple coalition. It's just, he's bad. He is that bad. Period. But as far as his claim to being against political violence, that the Democrats totally abhor it, I found this nice little super clip here, and I'm not sure of the audio quality on this either because it's not mine, didn't make it, don't know where it came from, but I found this on Twitter at Brandy U. Wright. I believe she reposted this, not sure where she found it, but I'm going to play this because everybody forgets 2020, 2021. Remember the BLM riots and the George Floyd riots where Democrats were doing nothing to control the situation? We're talking millions, if not billions of dollars of property damage. We're talking, literally cities on fire, deaths, nothing but violence on the streets. We're talking citizens just literally going to blows and beating each other. We're talking cops being ambushed and beaten. We're talking attempted takeovers of cities, as in Seattle. Remember CHOP? Did everybody forget that? See, the problem is too many Americans have short memories. But the Democratic Party was literally behind this and supporting it. Remember those video clips and news reports of sudden pallets of water and bricks? Pallets, okay? Pallets need to be delivered by large trucks, taken off with forklifts. It's not as if, these people just suddenly brought these into their headquarters of riotry, whatever they're going to do, in the back of their freaking Honda Civics or whatever. No. This was a coordinated, planned, very strategically planned and deployed riot across the USA. And the Democrats were behind it. But hey, Joe Biden says they're against political violence. It's never tolerated. All right, Joe, then how do you explain this super clip of all our favorite Democratic leaders and media personnel? I'm going to go ahead and crack a beer while this one's on. I suggest you pop the top two while you listen to this. Hold on. Let me go ahead and... There we go. Let me take a sip. Yep. All right, that's going to set the stage. All right, listen to this clip.
Don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Okay.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the...
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive?
So that whole cackling and laughing right there was that was Kamala Harris's statement on looks like Ellen DeGeneres show. Just so you know. So in that clip alone, all your favorite Democratic Party leaders and media personnel and actors were calling not just for violence, but for the assassination of the then President Trump. When in the hell was it ever okay to threaten a president with assassination and that person was able to get away with it? But here you go. You have senators, you have Congress, you have everybody, on all sides here of the Democratic Party calling for violence against the president, calling for violence against President Trump and the assassination of President Trump. You had threats of blowing up the White House and assassinating the president by actors. I mean, an actor gets away with saying this shit. Why? Because they're a fucking actor? So where was the call to violence from the Republican Party? This is all the Democratic Party. All of this. And this is this is a small super clip, which was great. Glad I found this. Thank you, Brandy Wright. But it's something that we need to take note of because America, please don't forget what is going on. Now, is Trump for you? I don't know. This isn't me trying to push you to vote for Trump, by the way. I'm just bringing up the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. that, by the way, if we want to go back into history, was also the party of the Ku Klux Klan. I know everyone's saying, well, why are you saying that? It's not the same. It doesn't matter. History is history, right? You don't want to let certain things go? Well, I'm not going to let certain things go. Okay, the Democratic Party has always been the party of oppression. They never came out and said it publicly, not letting you know it to your face, but they were always the party of power and keeping themselves in power while using the American people as tools to get what they need. Period. I wish it wasn't so, but it is. Doesn't mean there isn't good people in the Democratic Party. There are good politicians that just might happen to side, one way or the other in terms of, well, maybe they like more of the liberal views versus some of the extreme hard right views of the conservative or Republican Party. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But Joe Biden himself cannot sit up there as the president running for re-election when he's caught up in a bunch of bullshit that literally is treasonous to the United States. I mean, come on, Joe, you want to talk about insurrection? You don't even know what an insurrection is. That's all they keep talking about is the insurrection that Trump was involved in. Like, nobody has been able to convict him on this because he wasn't a part of it, and therefore, it's all lies. There wasn't an armed mob there trying to take everything over. Was it a bad day? Absolutely. It turned into shit. Okay, it didn't start that way. But to say Trump was behind it, strategically planning the whole thing, and telling a bunch of, by the way, also unarmed citizens. I mean, America, right? Second Amendment, more gun owners than anywhere in the world show up to protest at the White House without their weapons. I mean, really? There was a few weapons there, but very, very little. And it wasn't Trump who was pushing the idea of a insurrection whatsoever. But if you want to technically say there's been plans of a U.S. takeover by those that aren't even American citizens, I mean, can we not hold Joe Biden accountable for that with his crazy open border policy that has gone unchecked? And now we really do have a real crisis? Come on, Joe. I mean, I would say you can do better, but I don't think you want to. I don't even think you care about the American people. I mean, the Democratic Party at this point is just rubbing it in your face. And they're laughing at you while they're drinking their champagne and eating their caviar. And while they used to be proud of being the party of the working class American, they have definitely forgotten their roots in that respect. They have no shame, and they're losing their grip. And all they're trying to do is throw accusation and catchphrases and words at the wall that'll stick to hopefully make you vote for them again. But let's be honest, everything that they've done, the support of the BLM rights, the support of all the rights, the constant blame game that they have, everything that they're doing, everything from gender identity to how we educate our kids in school, to mask mandates, to shutdowns, to holding businesses hostage, everything has been done to divide America. And I think that's the real strategy. They're trying to piss America off to the point that you are going to choose a side, and they're going to use you to fight their actual call to political violence, to physically fight and physically commit acts of violence on their behalf, because they're too fucking scared to get out from behind their desks and actually face anybody. They don't really want violence. Have you seen half of these people? I mean, are you really? What the hell are they going to do if something goes down? They're not going to do anything. They want you to do it for them, so that while you're wounded and most of your friends are either hurt or dead, they can easily walk in, take over, and claim even more power and hold even more over your head, so that you were submitted to their tyrannical government. We got to get away from this. I never thought I would see America in the position it's in, but you can really feel it. You can really feel like it's about to blow over. It's like a time bomb, And I'm telling you right now, that time is ticking. And I'm not trying to be conspiratorial. I'm not telling everyone to go out and take arms. I mean, I would never do that. That's bullshit. But you got to pay attention. The only thing we can do now is vote, and vote smartly. And I will be very honest in saying I wish we had different candidates to vote for, but we don't. This is the fucking hand we're dealt. And it may very well have been planned this way, but damn it, the only way we're going to get out of this is if we take everything serious, get out there and actually vote. Stop ignoring things. Stop acting like your vote doesn't matter, even though it feels like it doesn't. You got to go out there and cast your vote. You got to be smarter. You got to get out there and make a change by really, really making an effort to make that change. All right, that's all I got for today. If you have anything that you want to say, please send it to me at worldablaze@fontsmedia.com. That is FONTES media.com. You can also catch us at Twitter at fontsablaze. And stay tuned for more of our social media platforms and websites coming soon.